President Trump says the United States has signed a safe third country asylum agreement with Guatemala. The White House says the agreement will force many migrants from other countries to apply for asylum in Guatemala before doing so in the U.S. The announcement comes after the president publicly threatened to place a travel ban, tariffs, and remittance fees on the Central American nation. Democratic Congresswoman Norma Torres is the only member of Congress to be born in Guatemala. She represents California's 35th district, covering the areas of Chino and Pomona. Congresswoman, in your statement after the news broke, you called the agreement, quote, an insult to common sense. Could you explain why for us?
Absolutely, Laura, and thank you for the opportunity. You know, it is unconscionable to think that Guatemala, one of the countries that has the highest murder rate in the world, and at least within Latin America, could be a safe country for people that are coming from Venezuela, from Cuba, and some other countries that are in deep trouble. To think that that is a country that could accommodate asylum seekers from anywhere else in the world, it is ridiculous.
All right, I hear that word. You think it is ridiculous that Guatemala can serve as a third safe country. So tell me why exactly you believe this.
They don't have the infrastructure. They don't have a health care system that can sustain Guatemalans as it is. 40% of their children are already starving. They're going through a terrible climate change issues with a drought that they have been in for many, many years now. They are suffering from, many, many years of public corruption that have stolen funding for the programs that they need. So I don't see, given all of those problems and given the fact that the number of asylum seekers at our southern border are coming directly from Guatemala, that we would think that that is a safe country to send people back or to accept any others.
And Congresswoman Torres, we know the Guatemalan Supreme Court had previously issued an injunction preventing a third country agreement. So why do you believe they're making a deal now?
I believe that they're making a deal now because President Trump, this administration, has bullied the government of Guatemala by threatening visa bans, by threatening tariffs and taxes on the remittances that they badly need, that they are depending on for their general fund budget. So, in my opinion, it has been the business community that has stepped up and pushed the Guatemalan government to disobey once again the Constitutional Court and to capitulate to the demands of President Trump. I would not be surprised if part of this would be to deny Thelma Aldana, who is the former Attorney General that is currently seeking asylum here because she has been receiving numerous death threats. She was disqualified as a presidential candidate in Guatemala. Who knows what else is in this agreement or what was done behind closed doors to get the Guatemalan government to sign on to this. But I also want to question the agreement, who is currently signed by an acting secretary for Homeland Security here in the U.S. and the Secretary of the Interior for Guatemala. Not even the president signed this agreement. So what's really in the agreement, we don't know.
And in addition to being the only member of Congress from Guatemala, you are also the only member to come from Central America. So all in all, how would you describe the U.S.'s policy in the region?
How I would describe the policy in the region is that we have abandoned our priority for democracy in the region, that we have abandoned what we were doing under the Obama administration, which was we were putting a lot of political pressure to to the Guatemalan government to do better, to deal with and address the issues of public corruption. We were supporting and funding CSIG, which is the UN organization that was in charge of helping to investigate high crimes of public corruption involving former presidents, the current president, their administrations, and members of Congress within the Guatemalan parliament. So the fact that, we have walked away from the good work that had been done previously, I'm not shocked that we have thousands of people now here at our southern border. This is what happens when we don't uphold the rule of law and we don't stand up for democracy in these countries.
Congresswoman Norma Torres, thank you so much for joining us on this Friday. And we're going to
Thank you, Laura.